morning everybody.
Good morning.
And welcome to Cwmorthin in North Wales. Now we've headed back here, which I'll explain in a little while. We're going to put probably 2 vlogs out tracing the history back to when we sort of first visited here around the 1990s. Did an M-Fiat panel in the early 2000s, and we're going to compare the pictures from what we took then to now. So we'll carry on and we'll come back to you in a little while when we're above the valley. The old incline here really just falling away now into complete disrepair, and so it won't be too long before it just melds into the spoil itself. Just see the wheelhouse on the top there. Just so interesting, these places to come and see, and you never know who you're going to stumble across.
It was very hard life.
It was.
Working in these conditions.
So just give you a little look round here and then we'll switch off and we'll come back in the morning. Just have a look down into this quarry here. Wow, just well, here we are in Cwmorthin. We're just about to start vlogging the panel that we shot. We started off, I say it was done over 2 years, and we did it in the autumn winter time because I wanted the colours of the grasses and the mosses to match the colours of the rust. So what we did was we came every weekend that we could over 2 autumns and winters. What we've got now is we're on holiday for a week and the weather is just not conducive for photography at all. It's dull. It's the cloud is down caressing the tops of the mountains here, but so I don't know how the photographs are going to come out, but I hope you get the idea of looking at the buildings here, how they're continuing to deteriorate, which is such a shame. Okay, so I'll just walk around Cwmorthin Terrace here and give you a bit of information on that one. Okay, this is Cwmorthin Terrace. When we used to come, we've seen it with 2 chimneys. I've seen photographs with 3 chimneys on it, but as you can see, it's really falling into disrepair now. And this was where the single quarrymen were housed, and there was no running water as such. What a life it must have been. And you can see the difference in the brickwork between what was the original barracks further down and then these ones up here. And I'll just see if I can get round here, just stick the GoPro inside. Okay, looking out the windows here, see the old fireplace here and another one on the level above. Really small little areas that they had to live in. And so you can see the difference in the way these were built. I say these were the original barracks a bit further down, completely different style of brick of building. And just in the far distance there you can see Capel i Tiberius, or the Chapel of Tiberius. I didn't shoot that for the panel, but again completely falling into disrepair. The first image that you see here is a picture of the barracks. He's got 3 chimneys, which we took in the early 1990s when we first started visiting the area. Second image is from our panel. As you can see, we had some gorgeous light. It was actually taken around June time, this one, so we get the light on the front of the barracks. But you can see already one chimney's gone, and then the final image is one that we took the other day, and down to one chimney. Some of the walls have fallen down, really fallen into bad disrepair, the barracks here. Second image is across Cwmorthin here, and there's a little boathouse in the foreground. I don't think that's originally from the quarry here. I think that's a pretty recent addition. But the small building in the background, and then the Slate spoil again further on. When we did this originally, we shot it on film. I got a Nikon f3 with a Nikkor 24 to 85 zoom, which is the only lens that I used on it, and shot on Fuji Velvia, which was really in-your-face film. So do this one and then we'll move on to the next image. Okay, image 2 here is the first one. Again, is from the panel. Gorgeous lighting. And then again you see the second image. The only thing really that's changed, there's been a lot of deterioration there, is that the reeds have grown up quite a bit. Such a still morning here. Grass is beautiful.
It's lovely reflections over there.
Yeah.
With those buildings in the lake.
Yeah. Go back a bit. What's Sue was saying? Yeah. Gorgeous reflections. So still. And so this is Cwmorthin, and you walk along here and the next couple of photographs in the panel will appear. When I shot the panel originally, you're not seeing them in the order that the panel was shown, because they hung the panel as the pictures hung together, and I'll show you it at the very end of the vlog. We'll put the panels together, but I'm just shooting now as we're going through first Cwmorthin and then up into Rhosydd. Keep your eyes open as you're walking along the path, and you'll see signs of the old railway. You see there's still got all the lines down here. So interesting. And I say the colour of the grass is just absolutely amazing.
And on the other side of the lake there's a ruined farmhouse.
Swing you around, Sue points out. Yep, the farmhouse on the other side of the lake there. And that was a farm, nothing to do with the quarrying. So on, follow the path along. Slate fence is still standing with this arrow on that we took all those years ago, and you can just about see the quarry master's house in the background there. This section of the slate fence has stood the test of time pretty well. It's pretty much as it was 20 odd years ago, although a little bit further along much of the rest of the slate fence has fallen down. Again, lighting makes such a difference. and I'll swing you around a little bit, and the next picture will be of the chapel. We came yesterday and vlogged the chapel. It's so sad now to see, as you'll see on the vlog that we'll put on, the film that we put on after this little bit here. Such a ruinous state, so sad. When we first started visiting here in the early 1990s, the chapel here, which I put the name, that's your name of the chapel on, had a roof on. I mean, the slates had been taken, but the roof and the roof slats were still on, and the building was whole and complete. And in the space of 30 years maybe, it is just fallen into complete ruin. Such a shame. One of the iconic buildings in Cwmorthin here. Now signs up saying danger, it's keep out, it's falling apart. It's so sad. I say, we really just can't believe the damage that there is to it. I mean, all four walls were standing when we came first, and I say the roof was on, and now it's just a pile of rubble. Such a shame. Such a shame. Still, time marches on, and I think the weather today suits the feeling that I've got around the chapel here. And this image of the chapel was taken again in the early 1990s from the back of it, and as you can see, the walls that are in the picture here are no longer standing at all. The first image here from the panel, you can see the difference between the picture before, where it's now really fallen down into a little bit of disrepair. The chapel, you can just about see roof beams leaning up against the inside of the wall. And on the second image, I say 20 years later, it's just all starting to collapse inwards and fall down. Roof beams have gone, so two walls have completely disappeared. It's really in a sad state of repair. Next image, struggled a bit with this one, as a lot of the slate fence has fallen down here since we took our pictures all that time ago. And I don't know whether you can see in the background that there's a tree that's fallen down on the old quarry master's house there. We'll try and get it a little bit closer so we can have a look at that one as we go a bit further down the path. Standing a little further back from the original image that I took for the panel on this one, but again it gives you an idea of how some of the slate fencing has fallen down over the years, and again the difference that lighting will make to your image. Now this building here, as you'll see with the images put together, has really fallen into ruin. It was actually used as a stable for the pit ponies, but on one of the censuses in sort of mid 1800s there was actually 2 people said to be living here as well, so probably one bit human habitation, the other bit for the ponies. And so this building really has collapsed out. The Rhosydd stable building here really has fallen into disrepair. As you see on the panel image here, the gable end is still there with a window in it and some walls still standing, but on the next one that we took quite recently, the front gable end here is gone, half a window frame left, and some of the back walls have also gone as well. Really falling down quite quickly, this one. That's how we can see as we're coming round here to the end of Cwmorthin Valley. Just swing you around a little bit, and this is the quarry master's house, Plas Cwmorthin. This is the quarry master for Rhosydd quarry, and we'll get a little bit closer up. I'll put you back on in a couple of minutes. Let's have a walk down to the quarry master's house. As we go, I'll just swing you around a minute because you get a little bit better view of the ruined farmhouse a little bit further down the valley there. But as we walk down here, I say this was the quarry manager's house for Rhosydd quarry, and these trees have really grown up in 25 years. It's such a shame that we haven't got the light. But as you can see, so I'll try and fall over, a little bit better living conditions than what the quarrymen had. Just have a quick look inside here. Really got to be careful where you're treading. Such a shame. These buildings are just falling into the state they are in. And come out the other side here. I had no idea what that was. And so looking down the valley of Cwmorthin there. And you never know who you're going to meet. So we're going to sit down, have a cup of coffee before we carry on.
After taking a picture of the chapel.
Okay. Okay. The view down to Rhosydd Quarry Master's house has changed quite a bit in the last 25 years. As I said, completely different on the fencing. The grasses have grown up more and the trees have grown up, covering the house a lot more than what they did then, and the house has deteriorated again quite significantly over the period of time. As you can see from, or you will see on the pictures from the panel, the whole gable end at the front of this building is gone. These were married quarters, or for married couples and children, these barracks. So it's slightly more comfortable, I would think, but still not a great place to live. I couldn't believe it when we came and saw this. The gable end is gone. I mean, it's just rubble now. Even the difference in lighting between the two images over 25 years can't hide the amount of destruction that's been on this building. Gable end's gone, chimney's gone, walls are down, and the chimney at the far end has gone as well. It's a bit difficult trying to get round to photographing this one. There's fences been put up and very boggy around the back here. But say these buildings really are falling into decay. So gable end's going, the chimney's gone. It's just all slowly disappearing. It was quite difficult to try and get round to photograph the end of this building here, the married quarters barracks. As you can see, lots of it has fallen down, the chimneys have gone, gable end has gone, but the big difference here is the ground. The grasses that were lovely colour at the last time that I came in, now it's just such a boggy area. Very difficult to walk around without sort of sinking down below the top of your boots. So quite a area where you've got to take a little bit of care walking around. Right, what we have to do now,
onwards and upwards.
Yeah, we've got to go up here
Up to
and round, follow it round here
the pass.
and up to the top of the pass into Rhosydd Quarry. So here we are on the path up to Rhosydd Quarry, looking back down into the valley of Cwmorthin. I say it's such a shame about the weather, but it adds a little feeling of sadness, I think, to the place, which isn't all sadness. As I said earlier on in the vlog, if you sit and listen with the breeze blowing, you may well hear the sounds of the quarrymen working and singing. Just let your imagination run away with you. So, onwards
and upwards.
Now, I don't know if you're going to cut this vlog into two parts. If we do, then we've just done the valley of Cwmorthin and we're going to be heading on up to Rhosydd. So we'll come back to you a little bit further up, and perhaps the start of the next video will be just as we approach Rhosydd Quarry. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I hope you've stuck with us and enjoyed what you've seen. I say we'll put the complete panel of images on as they were viewed by the International Federation of Photographic Art at the end of the second vlog. And just remember, no matter what you do, no matter what the weather, keep on getting out there.
See you later.
Keep on walking. Bye.
Bye.